way to lunch. I need my shade. Why didn't I put my shades on? I was supposed to go to lunch with somebody today. Not lunch. Well, not out to lunch, but to their house. Totally forgot about it. I was like in the groove working, baby. And so I would have left earlier than I normally do that. And I actually today left, I don't know, I guess about the same time I normally leave, but I've been leaving earlier last week, because I was aggravated. But another thing that happened this weekend, I just thought about it. I was like, do I need to record another video or something else that happened? But it was on Sunday. So the last 3 Sundays, I have not been feeling like going to church. Just because I'm tired of getting in my car, I'm tired of driving, tired of going places, having to move from my bed, that kind of thing. But I've been making myself go every week, and every week has been awesome. So the first week I went and I was not feeling it was the Sunday I went to the early service. So I prefer a traditional service with hymns, and I love my old people. Y'all learned that about me. I love my old people. Me and my older, mature, wise brothers and sisters. Yeah. So my church the church I had left from got rid of that service, and that was one of the major reasons I left, is because I didn't feel like I was having church anymore. Which I know that's not the case for everybody, but for me, that's how I felt. Because I had already like sat through contemporary, what was supposed to be now a mix of contemporary and traditional, for quite a while, and I wasn't getting what I needed. And I done told y'all, if you ain't getting what you needed, it's time to go. I done stayed stagnant long enough trying to say, excuse me, it'll be all right. Nope, we're not doing that. Life is too short. We're gonna enjoy. And then Arpi, I felt like my daughter, I felt like she needed to do something during service. And at the church I was at, they didn't do anything for the kids during service. And I felt like, okay, at least she can go do something that's interactive, where she could be learning about Christ, because this is a pivotal age for her. She's about to be 9. I don't even want to talk about it. And yeah, my life started going haywire at 13, I want to say. But 5th grade was like when things got crazy. And then nowadays, kids no more. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And my baby already giving her life to Christ. She still got to get baptized though, because we had an issue with, not an issue, but the person I want to baptize her is the pastor that left our church, because that's the pastor she knew. And we actually are going down there for a gymnastics meet this year, so I may get him to baptize her when we go down there. Or the other option was to get her baptized in my home church, which would have been fine, because I wanted my grandpa and my uncle to do it. But now my uncle's, this happened, I think, before my uncle went in the hospital. So after my uncle came out of the hospital, he ended up having to be on oxygen 24/7. So he ain't getting in the pool of water. And then my grandpa got like COPD. Now, like, everybody was in the hospital last year. It was like crazy. And so everybody's kind of like in a different physical state than they have been previously. Now my brother could do it, but yeah, I'm still praying about it. So we kind of like waiting to decide to do it, because some churches you can have anybody do it. Some people you have to have a pastor do it. Some people you have to have the deacons to do it. So at my home church, we got a new pastor because our old pastor ended up having what's it called? Not MS, ALS. And it was like sudden, like one day he was walking, one day he was on a cane, one day he was in a wheelchair, and then he was home, can't move at all. And so they didn't have a pastor for like a year. I want to say longer than a year. And so they just got one. And my mom knows him, and they know his family and stuff, but I don't care for him too much, which is thing got nothing to do with me, but that don't even let you baptize my child. You know what I mean? So I wonder if, I don't know. I'll think about that on camera because I'll be killing my time. But all that to say, our senior, I don't know what it is. It's like a retired pastor. That's what they call it. Senior emeritus. It's a Latin. We ain't got to go into that. He preached the Sunday that before I didn't feel like going. And he told us to try out the morning service because it was beautiful and a lot of stuff was happening there and all this. And so I went to that service the next Sunday and it was awesome. And I met somebody, saw somebody who I already knew that I didn't know went to that church. And then people came up to us and was like, oh, does she want to go to children's church? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, no, not today, because she wasn't feeling it that day. And she's kind of been like, when we first came, she was kind of like, I'm going to stay with you. I'm not going to no children's church. I'm like, the reason we left that church, one of the major reasons, is so you could do something while I'm in service and learn something too. Because they had just Sunday school there. So now, at this point, she ain't been in Sunday school or children's church. So, like, you gotta get there with the program, ma'am. And it was all good that Sunday. I was, like, pleasantly surprised. I actually enjoyed that service as well. So I visit every now and then. And then that'll probably be good for me to meet other people too, because I haven't joined the Sunday school class yet. And I'm really up in the air about which one I want to join and if I should join, because I quit doing choir for a little while after I left my old church, because I had been on there for a long time. I was there for like Arpi was probably, I want to say 3 when we went there, and we left last year, so 5 years, and I was in the choir the whole time, the whole entire time, and I'm not even talking about all the other stuff I was doing, but I love the choir. And then when the traditional went away, the choir that I like to be a part of also went away. And so I'm really like having all these, like, I'm in awe every time the choir starts singing and they do special music and do, oh my gosh. So the last 2 Sundays. So then the next Sunday was Easter Sunday. I come, they sung, when I say, first of all, Easter is already my favorite holiday. It's always close to my birthday. And it's spring and everything's pretty and Jesus rose, and yeah, it's just all the things. I love it. It's my favorite. And every single song they sung was a favorite song of mine that day. I was like ascended into heaven all day. I was so happy. And then I guess this Sunday will be the next Sunday, right? I don't know. Anyway, I didn't want to go this Sunday. I was tired after being in the sun all day. But I was like, nope, you're going to get your butt up and you're going to go to church. So I get up, go to church. Not to mention, on Easter, it was packed, jam full, baby. I had to sit on the front row because, well, I normally sit on the second row anyway. But that day, I had decided I was going to sit in the back. So I was like, I ain't feeling it, so I needed to just sit back here and chill out. God was like, nope, you're going up front of center. I was like, and then this Sunday, music also beautiful. I didn't know who was preaching, but when he got up, because we have a senior pastor, like assistant pastor, then we got one new pastor that just hired, I don't know what he do, and then the one that's retired. So 3 of them was up there, and so I was like, okay, I don't know who preaching today. And so he gets up and he says, he's about to speak about purpose. He was like, we're not in a series right now, basically. We're about to do some kind of conference, and they was like, just do whatever you want to do, basically. And so he prayed to God, and they said, talk to him about our purpose and abiding in him and abiding in God and all that. So on the screen, he has a butterfly with like paint in the inside of the wings, and it was really pretty. And so I was showing my daughter because she likes to draw and stuff, and she was like, baby, guess where the scripture came from This guy be, baby. When I tell you I be saying he be beating me down, but he don't be beating me down. But he be tearing me up. Tearing me up. The scripture was Genesis. Now, the inside joke that y'all do not know is the book that I'm writing right now is about Eve and Mary. So I'm in a deep dive in Genesis. And then he connected it to, I think, was it Romans? I don't know. Anyway. So I'm like, I'm at the point now where I was like, I'll listen to so many sermons. I done read so many books. Baby, I be listening. I listen to a sermon every morning before I go to school, before I go to work. I be everywhere trying to learn stuff. And I got to the point where I think I need to change what I need from church. Because usually I'm the person that's like writing down all the notes and making all the connections and doing all this, doing all the research later. And now I'm like, okay, I'm not hearing anything new that I need. I need some stuff I can use, something that can hit me. I need to be filled up. That's how I was like, I had to go. Because I wasn't getting what I needed, and I need what I need in order to pour into others. My cup has to be full. So, in order for my cup to be full, I was like, I'm just gonna start listening, and I think I'm gonna just let God speak to me. I'm not gonna take notes. I'm just gonna let God speak to me, and I'm gonna, He'll bring out something that's I need to hear, or whatever. Baby, he started off with his child. Now, me and my child be beefing all the time because our brains do not work alike. I am very analytical, and we're going to follow the plan. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the plan. We're going to do it. She is very much artistic. Look, this is a new car. I'm not finna tell my code, so hold on. New to me car. And I want to keep it that way. And my driveway is weird. And she's very much like, oh, let's have fun and do it this way without the instructions and all over the place. And so he went through the story about how he was cutting grass, and then he didn't have no gas, so he had to go to the gas station. He paid for the gas, threw his wallet in the car, couldn't find his wallet later, and then 2 weeks later he decided to get all his ID and all that stuff back. And then his daughter come in the kitchen one day and said, I found your wallet, and it was in her microwave that whole time. So that was, I was like, that right there. And so then he started talking about how we are, when a caterpillar is first born, it's made to consume. It's supposed to be eating everything so it can get ready for the transformation process. And then he started talking about how you have consumed enough and you are ready to bloom. And then he said, when you're consuming so much, when the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, it begins to pollinate flowers, which means it's spreading life. I was like, y'all think gonna be able to keep me off camera now? Cause I was like, I know you playing. Why you playing with me like this? Okay, Lord, my wings, they're opening. I'm in front of the camera, they're opening. I'm talking. I'm trying, y'all. So then after church, I'm writing notes. I don't feel a whole front, a whole back, because I wasn't ready to take no notes. And he doing the benediction, and I'm still trying to remember that last little part he had said. So I finished, and I went to see my friend because she was like, her back was bothering her last week. She didn't get to give me a hug and da-da-da-da. So I was like, I'm going to go find her. So I go outside. Rewind. When we came into the church, I got out the car and this lady spoke to me. And normally people say like, hey, or whatever. But she was like, hey, like she knew me. So I was like, oh, that's kind of, I ain't never seen her before, kind of thing. So when I went to see my friend, she was talking to the same lady that was waving when I came in. So then we started talking, and she started telling her I write books. And she was like, can you tell me what about her books? And da-da-da-da. And I was telling her I had came from this church and did this and this and this. And we was just talking. And so I asked her what her name was. I had just finished telling my friend that he was preaching about the same thing I was writing about. That's how we got on to my writing. How about her name, Eve? I was like, I'm going home. I'm going home. I was like, I just, okay. I said, okay. So then I talked to her and found out where she worked and stuff. And she knows 2 people that go to the church that I came from. One of them I had just saw yesterday at the little book pop-up shop that we went to. And I'm close with both of them. And I was like, oh, yeah, you my people. You are my people. So I was like, Arpie, we're making friends at church. And I was so excited. And then, yeah. So I'm about to go do some work. Some more work. And calm myself. We have gymnastics tonight. And I need to see if Arpie's Leo that she got to wear today. They wear a certain Leo on Mondays. For the team cohesion. So I got to go make sure that's clean. All right, bye.